Hello and welcome to my strangely glitchy little overview of World of Logs from a DPS perspective. This is what I typically look at when I come in here to check DPS performance. Only I typically don't see this over here on that side of the screen. Maybe that'll help. First thing I do is when I come to World of Logs, hopefully you have this section here bookmarked, or it's reachable through the members section of the website, is I find the raid that I want to look at, which in this case is going to be our 25-man from Sunday the 16th of May. So I click on this, and it's going to bring me to kind of an overview of the full report. And what I will do is I will go in here on a boss by boss basis, because this information that it presents is including trash and a variety of other things that isn't particularly helpful to me. I only look at the kills, so when I go to full report I come down to kills. We'll begin with Lord Marrowgar. Once this loads up, again this is going to give me kind of an overview of our Lord Marrowgar encounter, and it's far more information than what I actually need, so I simply come down to damage done. Now when I get to this point, this is going to give me the vast majority of what I need to know. One thing that I have to keep in mind as I look at this is my benchmarks, and what I've established as the benchmarks for the first 4 bosses, at least for the time being, is a minimum of 4.5k DPS E. When you get here, you will see a listing of your damage dealers from highest to least. You'll see the amount of damage they did by mousing over any of this. You'll also see a kind of a simple breakdown of what a lot of their damage is coming from. You see the percent of their contribution, kind of a visual graphical output of this, what their DPS was, DPS being figured by total damage done divided by active time. You'll see their DPSE, which is their total damage done divided by the entire fight length. You'll see their active time and what percentage of the overall time that was. The reason that I use DPSE is because when you figure up DPS, their active time could allow them to begin the fight, come out with a series of crits, pull aggro, get hit by the boss, and get one shot. And so they could be showing a DPS of 10k plus when their actual contribution to the fight was extremely minimal because they were dead basically the entire time. So the DPSE is a far, far better benchmark of performance to use. What I'll do is I'll run down the list here and look for anyone who came in below the marker that I want to establish. I'll scribble down a few notes as far as that goes, and at that point I will go in and look at specific details by coming up to players, finding the appropriate class for the person, selecting the person from the list, and then at that point it will pull up some other information. As I don't really want to pick on someone, I'll just pull up my own. It's going to give me a graphical output. I come over to damage by spell, and I can look at things like my lacerate uptime, 91.7%, mangle uptime, 82.3%. Apparently I sort of slacked on that one. What this is useful for is tracking bleed and dot uptimes. If you are a class that's heavily bleed or dot dependent, you want to see these numbers as high as possible. You see your glancing blows, see your total misses. I miss a lot because I'm a tank and I don't particularly push an extreme amount of expertise or an extreme amount of hit. You can see a total breakdown of everything that I was using here. You see Lacerate being the top damage dealer that I had there because of the uptime on it. So the ticks because of the hits, the crits, and the tick crits, and everything else. My standard melee coming in second. Bears are pretty slow, so only 5 hits, only 43 crits, and 4 blocks, 12 glances, 1 dodged, 6 missed, 2 parried. Maul, Mangle, Red Aura, not really something of mine, but always nice to have anything whatsoever that can assist with the damage being done there. My Bear Swipe, Feral Fairy Fire. So I would look down through there, and some of the information that I can see that contributes to lower damage is obviously the fact that there's a pretty good amount of misses going on. There's a pretty decent number of glancing blows in there. You see absorbed damage as well. The need to get my my Mangle uptime a bit higher. My Lacerate uptime could probably improve as well. I can look at the damage taken if I want to, but right now I'm not going to concern myself with that. I'm going to stay focused on damage done. If you mouse over any of this, you'll also get a kind of a graphical breakdown of this, so that you get it in a more visual format if that's what you want. But what I will do, like I said, is I'll look at the breakdowns and I'll begin trying to find ways that I can improve the amount of damage that I'm putting out. Or at least that's what I would do if I was a DPS. And that's what I do as I review the DPS. And I also will call the class leaders to take a peek at someone's information from the logs if I'm concerned about their performance on a particular fight, so that the class leader can speak with them and try and find some ways to get some more damage going and increase performance from fight to fight, because we want to make sure that everybody is always performing at their best possible level, and that all of their questions are being answered, that they are fully understanding the mechanics and how their class can maximize from one boss encounter to the next. So these are the basics for dealing with this from a DPS standpoint. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that it helps you to navigate this a little more smoothly and find some more useful information for your purposes in World of Logs. Thanks.